Okay. So, good afternoon. It's March 25th, 6:12 p.m. And we have, I guess I'll ask everyone to please identify themselves.
Rob Hurley.
Brett Cooper.
Julia Olafson.
Beverly Albright.
All right, this is the Policy Review Committee. We're going to start off with old business, Policy 810-3. And Rob, do you want to, or you want me to?
Sure.
Let me start with this.
Look at the policy. First, I believe our previous discussions, the board had wanted this policy to apply not just to employees but also our volunteers who drive the vans. And if you notice some minor change, like the word employee, we need to change under purpose the word employee to, I would recommend employee or volunteers.
This is in the first sentence.
Yep. I got. Yep.
We got 2 yeps.
Correct.
He was asking for that to be.
Right.
Just so it's inclusive of what our discussions have been.
All right, then we're gonna.
Yeah, the other parts, right, we talked about, Bucky.
Right, are crossed out.
We crossed out all the way back to the last page. Or second to last page, sorry.
Mean page 3?
Yes, page 3.
Okay. So page 3, we talked about that one sentence we're going to keep, thanks to the
Yes.
lawyers.
Yeah, after
You-
discussing this with our legal counsel, at the recommendation of the board here, they're recommending that we do keep post-accident drug and alcohol testing at minimum.
Okay.
And so if you guys are okay with that, that's where our legal counsel
And then
recommended on that.
I think that's reasonable, and I don't think that the union should have any issue with that. Like that, it was the global request for drug and alcohol drug and alcohol testing or blood pre-driving that we were concerned
So
about.
it's just post-accident?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and then the next section right there is a go. Is that, as I understand it, that's the drug and alcohol testing? Do I need to address that? No, we're good with that. And then the next, Rob, what's the next section where we talked about prohibited conduct? We're keeping that?
Yeah, we're fine with that, unless you guys have, just skim through it unless you guys have issues with it.
No.
Okay. That concludes.
And we're keeping that whole section, but up at, from prohibited conduct to consequences and discipline, which is the bottom of page 3 to the top of page 4, I guess. We're keeping that whole section.
I'm not uncomfortable with that.
No, I'm not uncomfortable with it. I just wanted clarification.
Just right above that, where we have that one little spot here, and the contract carrier, is that something we're checking off, or is that one of the things we're going to cross off? Right above that paragraph, where she says controlled substances and alcohol, I have a spot here that either gets checked off or
I crossed that out, so don't.
that's crossed out too.
And that was related to the fact that we have a separate contract with our contract
Yeah.
carriers. Yeah.
If you remember, we have our vans we control, and then our contractor controls the other vans, and we have like the athletic vans, and then parents drive, and
Right.
students drive sometimes.
And this has been with legal for since January, so that's why it's a little fuzzy.
Yeah,
Right,
we
okay.
go back twice as that much.
Okay.
Yep.
So Rob, we talked about at the top of the page here, how should I address this now?
I would put it at the top of that, move to first reading.
Move to,
First reading.
okay, thank you.
So, Bucky, that'll appear on the cal next time for first reading.
Okay.
First and second.
Okay. All right, then we're going to go to new business, I guess?
Yes.
Guess that's it. Okay, I guess we're going to talk about policy 918, which is Title I, Parent and Family Engagement. This one was pretty much
Yeah,
straight
there's a
through.
few check boxes here that we need to go through. This relates to our federal programming, and we need to update this. And they are, like, for example, even the title of the policy was Title I Parent Involvement, and now these Title I Parent Engagements to technically comply, and auditors tend to pick things like this, among other things.
Okay.
So we're going to, I guess, jump to page 2 here, where we get to number 5 there, asking if this makes sense.
5 makes sense. Yeah, we currently do that. We have documents and they're easy to translate with Google nowadays. And we have a subcontractor. We have a real serious document that we use that will translate almost any language for us. They're expensive, but Google works really good for that now.
Should we, so I'm going to check that off.
Yep.
And did you just say that if we have something that has to go through a real person, we'll actually contract this specific document we need translated into French or whatever?
Yeah, if there's something that's legal or something that's real, like like Google does French real well.
Sure,
Spanish.
sure, yeah.
We get to something, if a language that doesn't.
Got it.
Then we go to them. So
Okay.
it's something unique. Sometimes we have about 13 ESL kids, and sometimes we get a parent who speaks a language that we don't have anyway. And it's
Right.
a letter that's specific. It's not just it's specific to that child. But
Sure.
it's-
Okay.
Okay, so moving up to, well, I guess, page 3 here, we have a few more areas to check off or not.
Yeah, let's take a look at Tudor's real quick.
To ensure establish meaningful ongoing two-way communication.
The top one is certainly establish meaningful, ongoing two-way communication between the district staff and parents and family members.
That should be good, right?
That's good.
You guys okay with that?
Yes.
Ms. Albright?
Yes.
All right. Communicate with parents, family members about the plan and seek their input. I guess I would continue with the number 2 one.
Yeah, if you go down to the second one, you can see.
This seems like it's pretty straightforward. Train personnel not required to include parents.
I would be careful, just my recommendation, you guys, about saying how. I think the idea and the premise that we want to communicate with the parents and family members about what we're doing and look for meaningful impact is valuable. The problem is if you start being specific, technologies change, and when you start talking about newsletters, district website, email, telephone, parent and teacher conferences, and home visits if needed. I'd be careful about the how, because that changes from year to year. That's up to you guys. We certainly can put that. It's consistent with what we do, but that just
You're just suggesting that we just go communicate with parents and family members about the plan, period,
and seek their input and participation,
and that's it.
and leave us the discretion to figure out the best way depending on what we
Good.
get. Does that make sense or not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be honest.
it would probably mean that you have to rewrite it less often, right? If you leave
Most
it a
likely,
little
that's why I was-
open-ended.
Yeah. And I'm okay with everything that's there because that's kind
Sure.
of just, but
So just do a period after participation and cross out the other.
yes, so that'll be fine.
Okay. I guess the next one looks fairly straightforward.
Under training, you mean?
Under trained personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rob,
Yeah, that's, I'm,
pretty straightforward?
yeah.
You're beyond that. Okay, I'm gonna check that off. Analyze and share the results of Title I Parent Family Survey.
That's a weird-
Is the Title I's Parent Family Survey something that we're required to do per Title I?
We're required to do it, and we do it. I'm not sure that we want to post
Are you,
the
I was gonna say, are
results
you
of that.
required to post it?
No, I think that's overkill.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
be honest
thinking.
with you.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
We had two buildings are receiving Title I services this year, and one of the buildings had 6 parents show up, okay? I'm not sure, like that survey results, now the other one had 33 parents show up.
Yeah.
The survey results become very personally identifiable when you start.
Yeah.
That would be my major concern about that. You know, you want people to be open and honest about in their comments too, and sometimes if you're that open, people may not give you honest feedback, you know, and so that we know exactly what's happening and how that. That's my thought process.
Yeah, I agree. But if there were, say, a parent whose child was the beneficiary of our Title, you know, through our Title I program, a beneficiary of some services, if they came to the administration and said, I'd like to know when you did the survey that the law requires, I think that we should be able, if somebody wanted to, give somebody like a 2-sentence like summary that we're allowed to share with the wider school district. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and just so you guys know, mine are about this thick.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
It's very bureaucratic. And
But I understand that like sharing like every answer to the survey doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, you know, but some sort of summary that's available if
I can make it available.
if it's available upon request. I don't know what makes sense and what meets our requirements per the law.
Listen, if a parent comes to me and wants to see the results, I'll be happy to share. I can
Yeah.
make that available to any parent, no problem sharing
Right.
those results with it. I mean, it was just a thought.
No, I actually think that makes sense, especially when you might only have 6 parents like take part, you know, as you said, you know, you don't want to be in a situation where people can just go look and say, oh, I know who that was. You know, that's not very helpful, I don't think.
do we leave analyze in that too, that sentence, or is just that's understood? But then we're just gonna say upon availability?
I want to analyze and make available the results of the.
So get rid of share.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Make
sense.
available upon request? No, just make
Just
available.
leave it, make available.
Yeah, you don't want to encourage 12 people on your doorstep either.
No, and if one year we had a situation where we had a really robust survey and there was information that we felt was necessary to share, we could put it on the website that year. You know, I mean, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
there's nothing-
yeah. So then it's not prohibited. It's just, you know, but yeah, we need to collect the information per the law, but we need to analyze it per the policy. I guess,
Yeah.
right?
All right, so that goes
What I
right.
do, Julie, I summarize all of the parent surveys that they take, and I look for, what we do is we look for trends.
Yeah.
What they're saying.
And that's all I think anybody needs to be asking about. Yeah.
So Rob, going into the second one. or the third-
Post-school performance
Yeah.
data, is that just our grades per the state? Or is that
yes.
Title I performance data?
Title I is measured in so many different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
Like a quick examples like F&P assessments is one of the ways we're measuring that. I mean, that's vague enough right there. I mean, our school performance, there's a link to the school performance profile.
Right, that's
you know,
true.
So that's. up
And that's
there.
available,
That's
yeah.
available, so
Yeah.
that's harmless as long as, you know, as long as.
I just didn't know if it meant something really specific that I didn't know what it was.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I'm interpreting that, as being general, as being very general, thing like that, but maybe I'm wrong too.
So we go ahead and
We
check
can
that off?
leave it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, distributing.
What is the school parent and family compact, may I ask?
That's done, and we do distribute it at the, we have Title I meetings that happen at nighttime
Oh,
and daytime also.
All right.
For parents, so
That's a go?
that's done, it's just part of our process.
So we check that off?
Yeah, there's a lot of jargon in here that I wasn't sure what it meant, that's all.
Okay.
And I know you already host those family nights, so,
These are good questions.
Establish and support active and engaged talent. Do you do the next one, Rob?
I didn't read the verbiage here. Just,
the council will include majority of parents and family members of students participating in Title I programs. Is that even possible? I don't, yeah, I don't see how it is.
you can't mandate people to participate in those things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how we can do that. Yes.
I don't know, I mean, do you,
Agreed.
like the parent and family nights, I know that you do that. If they're saying those are advisory councils because they're giving feedback, then we do that, right? But if they're saying we need to form specifically
The majority?
with a majority of the parents, which would be like, you know,
majority.
I know, like it would fill this room. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
And we do the parent nights, parents are asked for feedback, we talk to parents informally for the feedback and we try to work with them. I'm not sure that one's necessarily relevant to ours. It's not cited as being part of.
Yeah, family. Do you guys do family advisory councils for Title I?
No, we don't have to.
You don't have Title I. Okay. It just seems like, I mean, it seems like the sort of thing we could form if we really felt we needed to, like in a specific year. But it doesn't seem like something that you could sustain
And
year
back
to
to your
year.
point, how do you get everyone there?
Yeah, exactly.
We're majority alone.
That statement of a majority.
Do we get rid of that whole paragraph?
Yeah. I mean, is that okay? Yeah, that's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they wanted that, I would ask them how exactly am I going to mandate it?
Because the next one is actively recruit parents and family members to participate in school review and improvement planning. That is like the next level down from, you know, forming an
Council.
advisory council. That's like inviting parents to come to these meetings
whoever shows up, shows up.
and you know, offer their input to make it better, right? And that's what I think is
That's
doable.
realistic. Yeah, that's realistic.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, like when you go through these in Buccaneer News, like when they have these, it doesn't necessarily mean you check every one, like they offer different levels of, you know, the service per se, and we just pick the ones we want to try to be able to do.
Are we going to check the active? That makes sense, right?
For me, it does.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we all agree there.
Right.
Okay, so-
I feel like that's the right level of engagement to expect.
The next one seems to make sense too, but
Correct. And that's usually so assigning district representatives, that's like if we did have an event, you know, you have somebody who's in charge and, you know, usually invite support staff and guidance and maybe that building's principal and maybe the, maybe maybe Shelley, and maybe, I'm not saying like who specifically should be there, but you already do that, right? Because somebody has to run those events, right?
I just try to look at the way it's worded.
Yeah, I gotcha. Oh, are you getting to the part where it's mentioned school level trainings?
This came on her.
You okay?
What are your thoughts about this one, guys?
That one, I kind of
The district representatives, are we moving?
I kind of think that I don't know if you need a line item for that stuff. Assign district representative to be available to work collaboratively with parents and family members and conduct school level trainings to promote understandings. I kind of feel like I don't feel like we need that.
That's
The it's overkill. I mean, and
We're available. It's all-
sure, and just be, and yeah,
So we're getting rid of the district?
district representative
okay.
one.
Yeah, that's,
Seems like the next one makes some sense.
It does. And everywhere in this, on the website, it invites parents to come to these meetings. Everywhere on the website invites parents to come to the board meetings.
Okay. Rob, you go with the next one?
What do you guys think about that one?
That's pretty straightforward.
Inviting people to take part in the process, that's what we do all the time, right?
It doesn't say it has to be, again, the majority, or it could be 3 people.
We'll be okay with it.
Okay.
Stick with that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, I didn't realize how many more pages this thing went on. It's a lot.
This is a lot.
that's a really long one.
Do we need an other there, Rob? We just go right past that?
No, we can just go, I think
Okay.
we're good, right? They kind of covered it.
This,
Ad nauseam.
Yeah, letter, so under building capacity for parent and family engagement, 2, A through D are set. D is the one that is a maybe.
providing as requested.
What do they mean by training? I mean, like when my kids first started school, every time we started in a new building, we got a letter that explained how to get into the system to monitor how school was going.
The
Is that-
training take place in a variety of forms.
That was my training, and I'm assuming if anybody had any issues, couldn't get into the system, they could contact their kid's teacher or the guidance counselor to get some help, right? I actually remember reaching out to the middle school guidance counselor once because I couldn't figure out how to get into Schoology. So if that's what they mean by training, I think that's fine. But if they mean something more rigorous,
More structured?
yeah. And the thing is that if you have somebody who's having trouble using the system, you can,
How about training or information?
yeah, training or information.
What do I do? There might be training or information.
because the
It's
school,
not necessary to drag all the
Because
parents
the-
feel guilty about having to call
Sure,
some parents.
yeah,
They
and-
can read it and do it just as easily, so.
and the school is really good about, like, you know, if you're not getting it and or not being able to figure out how to get into the system, they were really good about helping people on a one-by-one basis. But for most of us, you know, the letter sufficed. They screwed up. They accidentally typed in her lunch code wrong, like when she went to middle school. And
So you can never
Rob,
find
we're
that.
checking that one, right?
for almost a year.
As long as I make that change.
I kept telling things
Yeah.
that were wrong.
Oh, check it. That's easy.
I was trying to pay her because it was this I couldn't figure it out.
Is what's his name gonna be here? Is he gonna be here? Scott. So you have to work this.
Oh, I did get it.
Oh, good. All right. We're looking at number 5 now?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Isn't that what they do already? You're always actively looking, or are they not really always active?
I talked to Sharon Morris at the PTO about federal program Title I this summer, and when it was very informally, but when she was in the building, so we talked about it for about 15 minutes, and that does happen now. And I know our principal's in regular contact with the PTOs at that level, so
So we're good with that?
I think we're okay.
Do we have to change the acronym because that's not what we have? What do we call ours?
PTC, I think.
Yeah, do you want to change the acronym? Because until you said Sharon Morris, I didn't know what PTA, PTO meant. So,
Okay. Check that off as long as we put PTC in there?
yeah.
Again, number 6, I don't know how you,
I don't know if we need number 6.
train parents.
How do you do that?
Well, that's,
Yeah, can we get rid of that?
Rob, you good with getting rid of number 6?
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know how you, okay. Adopt.
I don't know what to say.
Didn't we
about
talk
that.
about that earlier? That we're gonna What's your thought on 7, Rob? Yeah, I'm completely off on this, but it says we're...
6 through 9, I don't know how you do anything other than just be open to the opportunities to improve family engagement. I don't know how you mandate family engagement. You know what I mean?
I mean, we do the best we can to try to get
Sure.
parents involved, and we also recognize that some parents work multiple jobs.
Right.
Kids have multiple activities. It's not through neglect that people don't
No,
want to be
or they
involved.
work hours
Yeah.
that make it hard to engage
There's
in
all kinds
things.
of
Yeah.
legitimate reasons there. Actually, we're pretty robust. Doesn't mean we can't improve on things. And
I
we actually
know.
had a couple good suggestions the other day for parents, but
Yeah.
we're open to feedback, and that's part of the reason why we do surveys. It's part of the reason why, we do different things along those lines. Sometimes it isn't always, you don't need a committee for every single little thing. Plus, what ends up happening, the same person ends up volunteering for, you end up wearing people out because the parents, there are the same people are volunteering for the committees and things like that. So you have to balance that with the needs of the entire district and the needs to have a variety of different committees and things of that nature, not just for one program or one situation. So I think you're along the right lines there.
So we can get rid of 7 through 9?
Can we just can we blend? I mean, what was I just thinking? Like if we took all 4 of those and just kind of like smushed it into
Yes.
Just summer, I mean-
be open to new new ways to encourage family involvement. Yeah, I don't know
I
how to.
agree. I
Do you know what I'm
think we
saying?
condense them into one
If we
thing
t-
and just
yeah.
open to it. The district will try, I'm just thinking out loud, the district will try to engage various stakeholders in the planning process or something like that, and along those lines.
Yeah, use, to encourage, the district will encourage parent and family increased family and parent and family member involvement through
The district will-
through but not limited to the following methods, outreach through PTC, outreach through local community-based organizations and businesses, and new and existing model approaches. Yeah, you can like kind of throw them all in there if you want. I don't know. I'm not wordsmithing it very well, but you know what I mean? It's like making a statement that you're committing to do everything you can to increase our family and parent involvement. I think is a good thing, but like mandating how it's going to happen, it doesn't really work. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
So the district will,
Let's see if we can wordsmith this. So the district shall encourage.
shall,
Shall encourage parent and community participation.
parent, now, do we want to say through?
Well, maybe we don't. Maybe
Maybe just leave it at that, just leave it at that.
Keep it simple is the best.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Someone looks at this 4 years from now, they're trying to wordsmith, what do they mean by that?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we want to make that like number 7 and I'll get rid of the others?
Oh, it would be number 6 because we're getting rid of 6 to 9, right?
Excuse me, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. That makes sense?
Okay.
Okay, so the next one is the engagement policy evaluation, and there is a what exists is what the evaluation shall identify, kind of the rough outlines, but then the part that's listed as maybe has this big bucket of things that are supposed to go into the evaluation, including the family and parent advisory council that we're not going to have. Again, it seems like it's very what the evaluation. I think the evaluation should probably have some pieces that are defined, but this is very rigidly defined.
Like the one, it says documentation of parent and family member input.
Correct, yeah.
Title I programs, period. And activities, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I would,
we're not moving
I
it.
wouldn't go from throughout the year. I should say document a parent and family member input regarding Title I programs and activities. That's something we do.
Right.
We take parent, literally we ask them, there's 7 or 6 questions, every kid who's in the Title I program. The parents get those and then we compile that data together. That's the one I told you where we had one building of 33, one building of 6. We combine. By the way, if Springford does anything better, please tell us. We're happy to.
I believe we only have 1 out of our 7 elementaries that even has Title I, and it's not my building, so I have no idea what.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That one seems to make sense to me because it's kind of with our current practice.
Yeah, it's just that last one, we just don't have we don't have the parent and advisory council, so we should
get rid
That
of that.
should go.
The one
Yeah.
above that, I would keep document of parents and family member input regarding Title I programs.
Exactly.
Period. And then
Right,
I would get rid of from throughout the year.
yeah,
Because who knows when we're ready to do the date of that, that's the only reason why I
right.
would say. get rid of
And
that.
I know you said that there is a family and parent and family member survey that's required. They also mentioned a teacher survey. Is that also required for Title I?
I think we're talking one and the same.
I see.
I
Okay.
say we collect data periodically when you guys get those notices. Please take the survey online.
Right,
And so generally speaking,
Yeah.
generally doesn't, because parents get technically tired of taking surveys too.
Yeah, I know.
So, but we try to get some data once a year. Can't say it's perfect, you know, because again, people don't like keep doing it time after time, so.
Yeah,
But we
it's just-
definitely do it, we do a small scale one with the Title I people, then generally we're collecting data around once a year just to see where our programming is at. and
yeah.
just-
All I wanted to know is if we're required to, if we're saying we're gonna require an annual evaluation be done, that everything that we're saying is gonna go into it is stuff that we do annually, that we can provide, you know what I mean? I didn't want you to eventually look at this and say, oh, we haven't done that in 5 years because we didn't need to, but it was supposed to be going into the annual evaluation, you know what I mean?
Very different, the documentation one that we check off, that one right there, the second to last, documentation of parent and family member input regarding Title I programs and activities,
Period.
period. And I think that's broad enough that allows
Right.
us to do it in a whole bunch of different ways.
Right.
And it's sustainable over many years, almost no matter what the circumstance.
So the
Okay.
4 items above that, we just cross off.
I think that one will cover it all. I mean,
Right,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think so too.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what doesn't mean we can't do more.
Sure.
It just that
And I didn't see, nothing in that is cited as required, you know, like if it doesn't have a citation from the reg or anything next to it, so I think being more broad about the language is fine. All right, are we down to Title I fund distribution?
It looks like it.
That's on page, I don't have.
There's no
numbers.
page
It's the
number.
last one. It's the last one of the policy, I guess, before the supporting docs.
I can tell you this right off the bat, I want to look at this more carefully here in a second, but I can tell you we are not required to under this particular thing because we receive less than $500,000. So we're not required to put a parental engagement set aside, it's called. So generally we don't, we do spend some money on it, but it's not like oodles of money, so. Most
Yeah.
of our money is spent on the intervention teachers because that's where you get the biggest bang for your dollar is providing interventions for the kids.
So how does that work? Do we have to include it in the policy in case we were ever in that
We might
situation?
have to, yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
what's there, because if we ever do go above that.
Yeah.
We put a set aside in there and.
I see.
We're not above it right now, but that doesn't mean we won't ever get to that.
Yeah, I get that. That's all.
it's all I can
So
tell.
if we need to leave it in, but it doesn't apply, that's fine with me.
So we just
I
leave
got
it
no
as
other
it is?
comments.
It's a long policy.
Well, we have a couple check boxes there too. I'll just read through.
Right. Are we checking them off like we're keeping them? Since you said we're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no opinion. If we need to keep the ones about the funding distribution, that's fine, but I have no opinion about any of them other than that.
So we don't currently use reserve funds to apply, but it's just, I think hypothetically, we keep it there in case we ever get above that line.
Yeah, that's what. That was a long policy.
So long, so long.
Yeah.
For the sake of this, I think this one's pretty benign. Disseminating informational best practices focused on parent and family engagement, especially best practices for increase the engagement of economically disadvantaged parents and family members. That's a pretty benign one to check.
2 check?
I would check, you can check that one, that's fine. The last one's fine, engaging, and actually the last one's better. Engaging in any activities or strategy that the district determines are appropriate and consistent with this policy. Change it, I would check the last one because that's broad, and it gives us lots of flexibility down the road. That'd be my.
And then we're gonna get rid of the other 4, we'll cross those off?
Yeah, get the last one's broad, it gives us a lot, if we ever go above the $500,000 threshold, then that gives us a lot of flexibility.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 4 of them are gone.
Yeah,
Above it.
Now, if something that happens 5 years from now, we're not regulating something there.
We may not be here. So Rob, on this one, we're gonna move to first reading also?
Yes, first reading.
Rob, do I need to date this? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Tonight's our meeting.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, all right. All right, we'll move to the next policy.
1 second, I gotta pull this up.
Okay. Actually, the next one's like.
You guys able to go online?
Huh?
You guys able to go online?
Can you get online?
No, we're looking for 611.
Oh, I know.
I got it.
I have it here too.
Okay.
All right, so move on.
Yeah, you might have to talk me through it because I'm crashing right now. So.
It is, we're on 611, it is like 4 sentences.
Purchases budgeted. Rob, you want me to give you a copy and I can pull it up on
Yeah,
here?
it's not even, it's crashing right now.
Yeah, that's it. This is concern.
The bold sentence that is new, I guess, is what? All purchases that are within budgetary limits may may be made upon authorization of the purchasing agent, business manager, board secretary, and/or superintendent. I don't know if it should be the board secretary. Unless the contemplated purchase is more than $19,700. Is that where we have the limit already?
That must be code, like the way they put that in, like that. I guess there should be a reference in the document, I'm guessing.
Oh, 3211. None of
3-1
those. Yeah, they're all state regulations. So everything that they're referencing is a state regulation. Nothing is referencing.
That's the 312, right?
Yeah, but I mean that's not normally having it approved by the board secretary is not what we normally do, correct? So the other three people make sense to me, but not that.
Right.
Let me ask you this, because I'm sure you've been on this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, is the board secretary on, there's a stamp that all checks in the district gets. Is the board secretary's signature on that? Is that what they're referencing here?
I don't know. I approve, the treasurer approves the checks to go out, but there's no signature on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I review the checks that are going out.
Let's cross that out. Hasbro will probably flag it for us. like
And
if it's
then,
illegal,
yeah, so if
they'll
it turns
probably
out that
flag
we're
it,
wrong, you know, if
We're
we're
usually
turning,
good about it, they say, hey, Rob,
Yeah.
you probably should bring that back to them again.
that's fine. Yeah.
So we'll go forward, first reading then, guys.
Yeah.
Bucky, unless I flag it, unless I email you, we'll go first reading on that one. Are you good with that?
You have my paperwork.
Oh.
No, it's no problem. No, could just move the first reading.
Let me see if Mike can do the
Are we just going to get rid of board secretary? Is that correct? That's what you crossed out?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay. Move the first reading. Yeah, Scott's here now. He can get you online.
I'll type it.
Do we want to go to the next policy, 614? Or wait?
I'm there if we're ready.
Rob, you want a copy of that, and I'll just give you the paperwork again?
I'm almost there, almost.
Okay. Scott did something behind you.
This is presence.
That's because she's walking.
Well, the lights came on for you.
This is 614, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Overtime can be scheduled and paid only when authorized in advance by the building principal or immediate supervisor. In advance can then just mean, hey, if I leave here, a kid's going to be left alone, and then they're just told by the building principal, yeah, you can go ahead and stay. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I mean, I get it that you don't want people who are paid hourly to come back like 3 days later and say, hey, I just stayed an extra half hour like on Monday and now you have to pay me for it. I get that you don't want that to happen, but as long as in advance just means that they know about it and they're just giving you the go ahead, and you don't need like 3 weeks notice. Does that make sense? Because there are situations where we've got children here that somebody who is an hourly person might have to stay for some reason, like there's a sick kid and their parent hasn't come and picked him up. I don't know what kind of situation could happen, but
It does happen.
yeah, I mean,
There's just things happen, you know what I mean? When it's-
Yeah, and as long as in advance just means you need to get the nod from the person in charge before you do it, and they're verifying that it's a real emergency or it's a real situation where you need the overtime, and not that someone's just deciding that it's something that needs to be done and don't tell anybody until they're ready to get paid. I get that.
And I can tell you, Catholic has done a good job of this, just keeping me informed of when someone has excessive overtime, you know, like Catholic.
Yeah.
Heads up, and so that I can figure out.
Absolutely.
Their supervisor will figure out what's going on. Is someone overworked, or is someone not being efficient, or someone, you know, you try to figure out why that's happening and try to address these.
And all I want to know is if we're going to say that you need to give notice in advance, that is doable and still we're able to run the buildings correctly. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I lost my thing. Okay.
And I'm bitching about that.
Right here.
Yeah, in advance is what we're just talking that.
I think how I'm reading that is just, we just don't want someone to come back to retroactively.
And that's what I'm saying.
I think that's what it's getting at.
So that's all I want to know,
Yeah, so.
you know, is that
You're right about that.
yeah. As long as that gives the people in all the buildings the flexibility they need to meet the needs of the students, especially. And, you know, and it could be for other reasons too. It could, you know, because somebody could be asked to stay late because there's a payroll issue and people won't get paid unless that person stays late on a Thursday. I don't know. You know, and, you know.
They happen, those things happen.
Right. And so as long as the buildings run correctly, still giving notice in advance, I'm fine with that. Because I get it that, you know, you could have people that are just like, oh, yeah, I was here late yesterday. And, oh, well, did you do that again? Didn't you do that like 4 times the last week? You know, I get that. And you don't want it.
First reading, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but are we leaving in advance there?
Yeah. We're on to 6:15.
Yeah, 6:15.
Got a whole bunch of short ones after that
Payroll
one really long
deductions.
one.
These are all business office. ones.
Yeah.
This is pretty benign too.
Okay. Seems pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, that looks pretty straight.
Yep, I agree. 6:15, right?
Yeah.
No.
To move to
Yeah,
first reading?
right. I have lost my internet again.
So, here.
Mr. Matz's luster is worn off.
The one I'm used to.
Yeah, I lost Google Drive too.
I didn't.
Maybe only a few of us at a time are allowed on.
Maybe. I can get off if you'd like to get back on.
No, I'm good. I'm looking over Bucky's shoulder here.
That's how I did Springport. Only so many people coming on.
We're on 6:16 right now.
616.
Yeah. Is it approved by the board or is that approved by you?
Yeah, I'm looking at that too. In this, right under authority, and then again, like highlighted halfway down under delegation of responsibility, it's saying that it's not going to, we're not going to make any we're not going to make payments on any claims of payment until the board approves it.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And that will mean that things will go out much later than they already do. So I don't.
You're right.
I just say, I can imagine how.
Oh, yeah, I just can't imagine. You just need a treasurer's.
And if everybody was really just looking to have us triple the time that we're here every other Monday, then that'll make that happen.
Can you imagine us approving every?
Now, they are, like, I think once a quarter or once a month. Everything that has been paid since the last time it was shown to everybody is presented to the board in a document, but it's after it's already been,
Processed.
it's after it's already been, submitted by the teacher administrator and, and approved through the business office and reviewed by the treasurer. And I don't know how that works with the superintendent and the business manager, but it's already gone through a bunch of eyes in the administration, plus the treasurer, and then it goes out, and then the board gets to look at it afterwards. That's the way it happens right now, and that's not what this says.
Yeah, I want Catherine to get her eyes on this one too.
Okay.
We table this one for next time. Let me have a think on it.
I think the process that we have right now is fine. But that's not what this says.
Yeah, I think we'll reinvent it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm going to have Kathleen review this, and we'll make recommendations for the next meeting in regards to trying to get consistent with
Yes.
current practice.
So that's going to be reviewed by the business office and Mr. Hurley to start.
All right, we'll bring that up next time, so table that for the next meeting.
Right. How many thousand more are we going to go through?
Do you want me to say table that too, right here on this note?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and say table it.
Right, table it.
Table it for the next meeting.
Till April. Are we moving on to the petty cash one, or are we wrapping up?
We can do 617 real fast. It's petty
Okay.
cash.
I don't see an issue.
No one needs more than $100 in petty cash.
Correct.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, and I think the petty cash amounts are spelled out in the budgets, right? And so we're when we see it in the budget, we're approving it
yeah,
for
they
the.
have to account for that. It's all done with receipts.
Yeah, and I've seen it. Yeah.
Move the first reading.
Yeah. Then we'll circle back to the rest of them next week.
All right.
Do I have to mark those? Just leave. Do I have to mark those?
I would just mark where we're at.
Meeting ends.
617.
on that one,
We did 617, so we
All right.
had first reading, and then the other ones they stay for next time, that's all.
yeah. Okay, so 617 was the last one we did.
So there's a couple 700s,
All right.
Yeah.
and next, I have a couple that I'm working on behind the scenes right now that I'm going to bring to the forefront next time.
Okay, so we're just going to conclude the meeting.
Yeah, we're good.
Conclude the policy review committee meeting, March 25th. We're wrapping up with, policy 617, and we'll start with 701 when we return next month.